G'day everybody, I'm Len from Diced Up Gaming and welcome to a playthrough of Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. So what I'm going to do is go through the first scenario, that way I'm not going to spoil it too much for you. And I'm going to show you how to set it up and show you a bit of the mechanics of it as well. So that way you can jump straight into your copy and get going. So you get choice of 6 characters. I've chosen Bruiser. Now this is the recommended one, so if you haven't played it before, by all means start with the Bruiser, and then you can build up on different characters after that. Over here you have your level that your character's on. You do start at level 1, and down the bottom is your matching health that suits that level. So what I'll be doing is I'll be flicking my dial to 12. So it's easy enough to spin, as you can see there. This does, once it gets down to a certain hit point, 10, it sort of drops down and you flip it over and you keep going right down. So I'll set that down to 12. And this one here is equivalent to the cards that you have in the Gloomhavens, where you do your attack and then you flip over I forget what they're actually called, the cards, and it tells you if you either get a negative, a plus, or if it's a miss, or times 2. So I'll show you how this sort of works. This sort of governs how that moves down to where you go, and you roll your die to tell you which modifier you're going off by. So hence, if you drop down there, if you roll a negative sign, then you miss, and so forth. So that works. I like that. That mechanic works really well with it. So if we go back to the character card, if you have a look here, you got your complexity here. You have a low, medium, and high. So Bruiser is a low, so it's easier to use. Have a bit of flavor text there, and you have your card levels. So this is all your level 1 cards, and this one over here will be upgraded once you get to level 2. Is the level 2 equivalent. So, and you also get your matching tiny mini as well to go along with it. Now I'm gonna try to get out there and paint this, but geez, that's tiny. I'll give it a shot though. I want to paint those up. So that's your character cards, and these are your ability, I guess your ability cards. And if you haven't played Gloomhaven before, you sort of got to pick 2, and you got to choose your initiative that you start with, and hope the monsters, depending if you want them to go first or not, hope the monsters either get less or above. So it's the lowest initiative goes first. So what you do, once you choose your cards, you either got to pick a top or bottom of any card, but whatever top, or like whichever one you chose of one, you have to choose the opposite side. So if I chose the bottom here, I must choose the top of my other card. And these ones, how these works as well is you flip them over. So you've got an A and you've got a B side. So it's not like your Gloomhaven there where you've got the whole cards. You deal with that way. These ones here, you have an A and you've got a B side. So how it works is you play your A sides first, like not all of them, but your A side, and then once you play your A side, they flip over to your B side, and then if you decide to play your B side, they get discarded. So you really need to look after your hand. You do have hand management there, because once you use up all your cards, once they're all discarded, then you must take a short rest or a long rest. Short rest allows you to get back into the action quick, but you randomly lose a card. A long rest, you have a higher initiative, but you do heal, and you get to pick which card that you lose. Instead of randomly, you can just pick one. And once you lose all your cards, it's game over and you restart the scenario. Once you lose all your health points, again, game over, and you restart this scenario. So these are the A ones, are the level ones, but you can tell up the top. And you got the character symbol there that lets you know what sort of character card that it goes with. Over here you got your level 2s. Again, they got an A side and they've got a B side. I'll put those ones aside. It is quite a simple one to set up. You do have your tokens as well over here. So there's not a lot of effort into setting this up. One thing I do recommend, if it is your first time, you do have to go online and download their rule book. Because the little, I guess you can say, it's not a rule book. It's a what's it called again? Where is it? It's a learn to play book. So it is quite tiny and it does get you up and going, but it doesn't quite explain everything for you. You do have a QR code there that gets you up here to tracking this down. So I do recommend getting that if it's your first time. Maybe even if you're not new to playing Gloomhaven, you can just jump online and get it. You do have, if you don't want to read the books, you do have the dies tutorial that you can jump on and it talks you through it as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all you get in your box. It is quite a tiny box, but we'll get to it. I will start the first scenario. Before I go, you do get a good variety of enemies to encounter. They're double-sided, so there's not an A or a B side. It's a different enemy each side. So if you have a look here, you got the bandit guard. Flip it over, the king button. I'll put those off to that side there. Again, you've got these are your level. So if you have a look up here, this is your level 1 stats that you start with. And once you upgrade, you just replace it with your level 2 stats. And if you upgrade again, level 3 and so forth. The monsters do have a difficulty there again. That's the monsters' attack modifiers that you use. You can start with the standard one, which is just in the cart, it's just like built into it. Or if you find it getting a bit too hard, you do have a very easy or an easy. And if you find it too easy, you do have a hard, and you do have a very hard. So if you want to really push yourself, I guess, you can increase the difficulty there for you. So this is Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. So let's get to it, and I'll talk you through some of the rules. So we'll start with it by picking the first card up, and all you're doing is you're just sort of reading through it, the flavor text. These are your items. I will let you know how they work in a sec. So we've got that shrinking feeling. What a time for Gloomhaven. First, a black tornado from the void nearly destroyed the city. Then there were reports of the very essence of corruption trying to end everything. But all's well that ends well. And at the center of both events, hail a mysterious ether who lives in a derelict tavern, the Crooked Bone. It is said she can turn anyone into a hero. Exactly what you want to be. Sure, you don't have a lot of training, but put in front of the right adventure, you'd get the acclaim that is due to you. So, with that bold purpose, you step across the threshold of the Crooked Bone and... No, that's not right. Everything is growing. Why is the doorway so large? Why are you so small. And there's some sort of ether enchantment. You've been shrunk. Play scenario 1. Rude welcome. Essentially, you're just reading and you're just following what it does. So this one's scenario 1. I will say it's not a choose your own adventure, you're just following through. It does have specific scenarios that are for specific adventurers. So if you want to 100% it, you sort of got to try different characters out. You can just go to a random scenario once you know the rules and just set up and play that scenario. So you don't need to follow through all of them to get there. Once you sort of get to know this game, you could just jump straight to a scenario, set it all up, and away you go. But this one's scenario 1, a rude welcome. Got some fancy gear there. You whirl around, taking in your familiar yet unfamiliar surroundings. Your attention settles on a scruffy character behind you, luckily on par with your diminutive stature. Nice and shiny, like it's never been used. Hand it all over, and I'll let you live. Well, that simply won't do. Your gear is unused, but there's really only one solution for that. So you don't read this, you just stop here. And all we do is we set up for the monsters, which is the bandit guard, and the goal is to defeat all monsters. So I'll sit that down there. I'll look for the bandit guard, which is here, and I'll lower this down a little bit, drop this down so it can all fit. So I'll keep him up. Now the enemies have their own, like I said, their own modifiers, and you also get your own, I forget what these are called, but how that works is that sits in there. You have your minus, circle and plus, and depending where you roll your dice, that's what lines up, and that's what you go by, what their attack's going to be. I'll set that there, and you have your little, use these little tokens here to mark where you start. You always start up the top there and always start in the middle on your first adventure, or on your, like the starting of your scenario, so you always start up the top and work their way down. And this moves every time you do an attack. So if you make an attack, it'll move. Make an attack, it'll move. So if the monsters make an attack, it'll move. Any monster that makes an attack, that will move down and keep going down. And then when you reach the bottom, it'll just start again and keep going down. Same with the hero. Hero makes an attack, it drops. You make another attack, it drops, and so forth. Start there. You flip this one over, and then you have a look here. You got your bandits there. We'll have a look at the map. So it is played on a standard card, so that's your map. What we have here, this is where your hero starts, and with the green and blue, the numbered, that's where the enemies start. The red ones here are your traps, so if you get put on there, you suffer the damage that's written down. The green ones here, you cannot walk through, but you can jump over, fly over, but you cannot walk through there. You can attack through there as well, but you cannot actually physically walk through that. It's a, I don't know, hindering terrain, or a terrain that you can't move through, but you can attack through it. If you've got range, you can attack through it. You can jump over it, and you can fly over it. So we'll have that down there. So all you do is you grab your little tokens, and they represent your enemies. Place them on there. You grab your dials. Now I put a little dot on there just to help myself, just to see it clearer. Yes, you've got numbers down here, and they represent on the number down there, but to me, I like to look at, I like to make things quick and easy for me when I'm playing, and a dot there works really well, because if you put them together, it's hard to tell what's green and what's blue. If you have them apart, yes, you got numbers there, but sometimes I can't keep track of the numbers, so I go for the colours. I set them there. That helps me keep track of the both enemies there. They both have their health. So that's set up. We throw him down there. We have our cards here. And we are ready to go. Now, you don't actually use any items on this stage. You do at the next one. Actually, I'll explain how you use the items. Every time you pass a scenario, or every time you move forward in the deck, your items become available. So every time, I guess, a card flips over there, becomes over in your discard pile, that becomes your items. So you can use your items and just have them sitting underneath your character, depending which way you want to have it. Now, the bag items, which is represented by these ones here, there you can only carry as many. It's half your scenario rounded up. So if you're on scenario 1, you can only carry 1. If you're on scenario 3, half of that's 1.5, round up to 2, so you can carry 2 of these. And you've also got ones over there, where, here we are, that represent a hand. You can carry 2 of these single hands. There's cards out there that will have double, picture of a double one there. You can only carry 1 of those. So obviously these represent your hands. And that's your items, and you just slide them under whichever one you want. If you don't want that one, you flip it over, have that one. And that's your items. And this is how you can tell what level you're on. So at the moment we're level 1. So when you progress through the card deck, this will change to a level 2. And this is where you move your level 2s up here, and so forth. So that's explaining that a little bit. I hope that's clear as mud. Leave a comment there. I'm more than happy to answer if you've got a question there about something. More than happy to answer it. So now we're set up. Got our tokens over here for if we suffer any status. I've got my reference card here to help me with the different icons there, and a quick explanation on what to do with those icons. Get that nearby. My health dial. So all we do is we choose the cards here. So you must choose the A's first, because we haven't flipped them over to a B, but once we've used some A's, the B's will become ready. We can use the B's, but just keep in mind that they will get discarded at the end. So we've got your discard, your lost, your active. Now how your active works is, if you have a look at these symbols down the bottom here, you'll have this symbol here, which is an arrow sort of going in a circle. That's represented, it'll last for the round. You've got one here where it's got an infinity symbol. Where's that? Well, this one here means it gets discarded. So once used, this actually, you lose it. So it's not discarded, you just lose it. But keep in mind, if this is your first turn, you actually don't need to use this. You can choose to use the basic attack or the basic walk. So if you choose to use the basic attack or walk, this doesn't come into play. So this doesn't come into play. So if I was to, where's that attack here? So if I was to use this one instead of this one, I don't lose this card. Yes, it's a B side, it will get discarded, but I won't lose it. Unless I choose a short rest, then there's a chance I may lose it. But anyway, that doesn't come into play. There is a infinity symbol. Where's that? Here. Now that can stay into play for however long you want it to be. For the whole scenario, for the round, however long you want it to be, that'll stay into play. So what I'll do is I'll choose a card. These symbols, this reference card here will tell you what they're for. So I think I will use, we'll use these ones here, I think. So I'm going to use the shield bash and the warding strength. Put them aside. Now I've got to choose which initiative I want. I'll take the 15 to try and get first. If we have a look at the bandit, there's a good chance I will, because his lowest is 30. So I'll bring the bandit up. So his lowest is 30, so there's a real good possibility I'm not going to lose the initiative with that one, but you still have to roll to find out their attack. So I've done mine. I'll roll. So that's a circle, so they will start there, and it's all the bandits, so all this monster card will be using this one here. If I had different monsters there, I'd have to roll for them to see where they go. But essentially this is it. So they're starting at 50. They're going to move one and attack twice. They have 8 health. They have a shield that's always in play, so I need to get through this shield first before I can do damage. But yeah, at the moment they have 1 movement and 2 attack. So I'm going to initiative. I think I'll walk first, so we'll use the 4. Move this over. So use the 4. You do have tiny hexes there. Now, actually, here's something. If somebody knows, if someone who's been out there knows a lot more, are these classes in play hexes because they're half, or they're not? I'm a bit unsure on that. There's like half of hex. These ones really look like they're not in play, but you have these half ones here. I don't think they are. I play it as they're not. But if somebody's out there that's watching it, if you don't mind, just throw a comment there and let me know if they are classed as a movement hex or if they're just part of the scenery. Because there's a lot of cards in here that look like they are in play, but I'm unsure. So I'll move 4. So I'll go 1, 2. I'll stop there. So I only used 2. I could have used the basic movement there, but either way, the same thing was going to happen with it. I will attack, and this symbol here is push. So I'll go to my reference card. I'll go down. There it is there. It's a push, so I can force the target to move X away. X is the number, so I can force it to move 2 spots away. And then I will empower myself. So we go over here, strengthen, sorry. So I'll strengthen, which gives me advantage. Advantage is you roll twice and take the highest roll. So I'll do that. So I've got 3. So I'm attacking the green bandit there, the number 1. So I roll. I've got the circle. So I follow on my chart here. So I get a 0 modifier, so I don't get anything to it. So it is a 3. He takes 3 damage, the green one. 2, 3. He's at 5. I do push him, so I'm going to push him into the trap, which he'll take another damage. Goes down to 4. I believe he can go through. I don't think you stop at the trap. I think you go through it, unless the trap says otherwise. But right now, you just take a damage when you go through it. It's not a stop or anything. So I'll push him through. These are mine. They're done. So I've got nothing there with a symbol that keeps it going. So they just flip to the B side and go to my hand, and then I'll turn to the enemies here. So the number 1 will act first. He'll move 1. He won't walk through the trap again, so he'll move over here, and he'll attack, which misses me. The other bandit's up here, so he'll move 1, so he'll go to the closest, which is this way, and he'll attack. So they stay there, and that's your round. And then you just keep going until you either die or you finish the scenario. So I'll keep going, and if there's a new rule that pops up, I'll explain how that one works as well. But right now, I'm just going to keep playing. Okay, I'll choose a card. What I might do is I don't want to use that. I think I will. Oh, I don't know if I want to. Can get that. So that's one. It's 1, 2, 3. So I can attack him with that one. So that symbol there is actually range. So that's range. So we'll use that one. I might use the I don't know what I want to use actually. I might use that one. Or do I want to use that one? There's no one here. Might use. Alright, I might use that one. I'll go those two. I'm going to stick to the lowest, which will guarantee me through. Actually, I might go the highest, because I might see if I can draw him closer. Go the highest. So I'll roll them. Alright, so they got a plus. So I did attack, so I should have moved that down. I didn't move it down. They get a plus, that goes over there. They get 70. Bruiser goes first. Alright, Bruiser, what are we going to do? I'll do the range. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I am in range. I'm throwing a dagger at him. So I'll attack. Alright, so I get a minus. So I have a look up here. Minus. So I lose one. So I get a -1. So I do a minus. So that'll be a 2. Oh, I've got to take the shield off there. So he would be up here. He would have up the shield. So I've got the shield. So he would have gone up one in the last attack. So it's 2 minus his shield. It's only a 1 through. So he's now at 4. I'll keep that one there. So that one will go as a B. I'll keep that there. That'll give me 1 armor. I'll keep it in play. So he will activate. He'll move 2. So he'll go 1, 2. He'll attack. I'm not in range. The other one will move. So he'll go 1, 2. Again, I'm not in range. That would have been a good one to use while they're there. So that'll go. That's the end of the round. I could keep that in play, which I might, because I'm going to lose it anyway. So I'm going to keep that in play because it's infinity. So we'll keep that in play because I am going to lose it regardless. So we'll go again. Can I use this one? I might have to use this one, I reckon. Right, so I'm going to lose both these cards. So use that. I will stick at the 54. Maybe. Alright. I'll just set that there. So I'm going for the 54. I did attack, so that moves down. Alright, so it's a plus. So they stay there, which is lucky. So that's 70. Because I want to do this. I want to move. I can add +1 to all my attacks this round. So move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play this one here, which allows me to attack in those two areas. So I'm going to attack in those two areas. I have a 3, so I can roll. I'm going to attack the green one first. Alright, so I got a plus, which is lucky, because if I rolled a minus, I would have stopped my attack. So I get a plus, so it's a +1. I'm attacking for 4. Minus their armor, so that's 3. He's down to 1, he's nearly dead. So now I'll do this guy, this will move down. Alright, so that's a 0, which nothing happens. So it's just the 3 minus the armor, so it's only a 2 on him. A 2. And these will disappear. That will go in there, that will become a B. And it's now the bandits. So he will attack. Okay, so now it's time for the bandits. So bandit 1 will attack. So he'll move, he's already there. So he'll attack for 2. So we'll roll. So he gets a plus, which is a +1. So that will move down, so he gets a +1, so that's a 3 through there, so it's a 2 because I have 1 armor there, so I'm at 10. Second bandit will go, that's a 0, he doesn't get an attack modifier, so that stays at 2, less my shield, so it's only a 1. Down to 9, and that's it of the round, and we'll go to the next round. So the next round, the only 2 cards I got are these 2. I think I'll choose the, which is a heal and an attack. What I might do is I might choose this one as the initiative. So I'll roll for the bandits. They're on a minus, so that will move there. So now if we have a look, the next attack is they're going to have 2 movement, 1 attack, and an extra shield at the end. So they'll have 2 shields for me to get through. I'm glad I'm going first, so I won't have to worry about that. So I'm pretty sure you follow it down. Okay, so yep, that'll only happen at the end. So if you go through, that'll only happen at the end of his turn. So once he's had his turn, he'll have 2 shield for this round. Seeing I'm going first, that's not a drama. So I will go first. I will probably use the bottom. I'll heal for 2. It'll go up to 11. Should I attack him, the blue one, or that one? I think I might attack the blue one, I think. I'll attack the blue bandit, the number 2, for 4. So I'll attack him for 4. Okay, so I get a plus. If I go across, so I get a +1. So that's 5. I'll go through his armor, so that brings it back down to 4. So it'll go down to 2. That'll move. I didn't move the bandits because they did attack twice. I should have moved that down. That is my turn. There's nothing there that I need, so they all just get here. I'll hang on to this one. So the green bandit will attack first. So he gets a plus, that gets a +1. So if we go down here, that's a 1, so that's a 2 through my armor, so it's just the 1, it goes down to 10. It'll move. Next 2 bandit does a plus again, so that's a 1. This goes over an armor, so it's only a 1 hit. I'm back to 9. That's the end of the round. I will discard that. What I'll do now is I'll take what's called a long rest. If I was to take a short rest, it gets me back into the action, but I'll lose a card, which I probably could do that. They're nearly dead. I could do that, but I'll take a long rest to show you. Like if I was to take a short, I'd shuffle these, and I'm not looking, and see that one will go, and then I can get back into action. But I'll take a long rest just to show you what a long rest does as well. It'll heal me. I am going to get beaten up by those bandits. Hopefully not too bad, not too much. So that will go down again. See how his attack. So I'll choose what to get rid of. I want to hit big. So I want to keep that. That'll do 2 attacks. So I'll keep that one. I might get rid of that one actually. What I probably should have done, I forgot to, is I should have put the strength on me. I didn't do that. I did forget to do that. What that would have gave me is one of these tokens. I do apologize for that, but I would have one of those tokens which sit here. So on there, and that would have gave me advantage. And what that would have done is I roll. So first roll's a minus. I'll roll again. Second roll's a circle. So I get to take the highest one. So I get to take the circle. If there was a disadvantage, same again, you roll twice and you take the lowest. So that was a minus, and that's a minus. So it's just a minus. I do apologise, I did forget to do that one. I'd have a little writing up there telling you, but yeah, I did forget to do that. So I will choose to get rid of that one. So that's a loss. So now I've only got a hand of 3. So we step into the next round. My initiative is 99. I don't get to attack, but I will heal. Heal 2, so I'll go up to 11. And roll for them. They're at a plus. The initiative's at 70, which still beats me because 99 is pretty high. They'll move 2, which they're in there, but they'll attack for 2. So the green one will attack me. They get a plus. So he'll hit me with, if we have a look on here, so he's pretty much done a critical hit. So he gets times 2 of what he hits, which is a 2. That's a 4. So I get hit with a big 4. So that'll be 7. That'll move down. Now bandit 2, he moves, he's already there, so he's going to attack me. He gets a plus as well, so these guys are rolling really well. So he gets a +1, so he's going to hit me with 3. So that takes me down to 4. Okay, so now I can get back into it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hopefully I'm going to do this. I want to go first so I don't die. Their lowest is a 30, so I can actually do this. I'm going to choose a spare dagger and the leaping cleave. I'm taking the spare dagger's initiative because that'll guarantee it. They're only got a lower of 30. They sit at the circle, so their initiative is 50. I get to go first. What I might do is I might use this one first. So I'm going to use the bottom, and this symbol here allows me to go through the armor by 1. Pick up the reference, scroll down right here. It's a pierce, reduce target's armor by X, so just the armor by 1. They have an armor of 1, so I'll be able to go through. I'm attacking the blue, the number 2 bandit. So for 2, I do get a plus, which is, it's a ×2, so that's a 4. So I get a 4 through the armor, so he's dead. Number 2 bandit is dead. And for my second action, use of second card, I don't know if it's classed as an action or I play my second card. I got to attack the top, so I will attack the green bandit. He's in range. So for 3, this will move down. It's a 0. Nothing there. I don't get a bonus. He does have an armor, so I do get penalised for the armor, so I only hit him for a 2, which is enough, and he is dead. That's the first scenario. So I'm all finished. They will flip over to the B side. Let's have a look. Did I complete my goal? Defeat all monsters. Defeated them. And I'll just move on. Well, your gear certainly isn't shiny anymore, and it wasn't even particularly fancy to begin with. Come to think of it, got the job done, at least, but your situation is quite dire. You'll need to survive long enough to find out how to restore yourself to original size, but for now, you'll need to deal with the vermling that just appeared. Read the collector. So that's essentially buttons and bugs, and then you just keep going. So there's the collector. Flip it over, read it, follow it. You can now equip items during scenario setup. I'll go through items again for you. So these will be what your choice, because you're going through the first, that'll be your first scenario. So these ones you can't equip. You can only equip the ones that are in your discarded pile that you've gone through, and you get a choice of 1 bag item, so half the level rounded up, so whatever level you're on, which is written here, so half that value rounded up, and that's how many of those you can carry. That represents your 1 hand, so you can carry 2 of those. I don't think I've got there's no 2 in there. I'll show you in here. There we go. There's a picture of the 2. You can only carry 1 of those and none of those if you have that. So that represents you using 2 hands. And there's a level 2. So it means your hero will move up to level 2. And it means you can only still carry 1 item bag, but 1 item, sorry. But once you reach to level 3, you'll be able to carry 2 and onwards. And it's not bad, like they're all played on cards. I probably do recommend to get some sleeves for them, but it's totally up to you. It makes it a little bit harder to get it back in the box with the sleeves, but it does fit. So that is Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, the first scenario. A rude welcome. So I'll stop at that. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Hopefully I've gone through a lot of the rule set for you to be able to get up and going and playing. But if I haven't, leave a comment down there and I'm more than happy to answer it for you. So also, if you want to see more of the scenarios played, let me know. I'm more than happy to set it up again and play and keep going. I am quite a fair distance into it already with the one I've been playing. It's not easy. It's not a pushover. You will die. You will have to restart the scenarios. So don't expect it to fly on in and away you go. It is, like, you do have a fair bit, but like I said before, you got sort of Pacific hero scenario. So if you're playing with the bruiser, then you play scenario 4, otherwise you go to scenario 3. There's a few of them in there like that. So you'll never get them all in one playthrough. But again, once you learn the rules, you can just skip to that one if you wanted to just play that one and away you go. It's quite easy to jump straight back into any scenario and off you pop. So that's Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. I hope you're enjoying your copy out there as much as I am. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Happy gaming.